Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to share with you some different ways that I maybe am not as frugal as other people. But since it all depends on who you are and what's going on in your life and all of those things as to how frugal you are, it's kind of like minimalism, I think. There's this huge scale of minimalism. And I feel it's the same kind of thing with frugality. So I want to tell you some different things that I do or buy, or some different things in my life that may or may not be frugal to you. And then I would like to know, what are some things that you do or purchase or whatever that people think, what? And you call yourself frugal? So anyway, let me know down in the comments. So let's get started with mine. Number one, I don't meal plan. I don't meal plan. My husband and I do not eat in a traditional fashion, I guess. We kind of get home at different times, and our what we eat doesn't really fit into the, you know, meat and starch and veggies and all of that kind of thing. We do a lot of, here's a typical dinner at our house. Let me give you an example. Whatever happens to need to be used up in our fridge. If we have some avocados that need to be used up, some bananas that are going, getting to the point where they're going to need to be made banana bread, tomatoes, we will cut all of that up and that'll be dinner. We may add some chips and salsa to it, but that's dinner. We eat just differently. And so we don't meal plan because we both have, different little jobs that we do that are outside of our 9 to 5. And it's just the way our life is. So we make sure we have the things that we know we're going to use throughout the week. But as far as meal planning and having an idea of what we're going to have for dinner on Tuesday and all of that, we don't do it. So the next thing is we use credit cards. A lot of people in the frugal community, the debt-free community, don't use credit cards. We do. I like the rewards points. I like the convenience of them. And we pay them off every month so we don't accrue interest. And the next thing we do is we eat out a couple times a week, at least twice, generally. One of those is generally for breakfast. One of them is for dinner. But a lot of frugal people say you shouldn't be eating out. Like Dave Ramsey says, when you're paying off debt, we're not in that debt payoff area, but he always says the only time you should see the inside of a restaurant is if you're working in one. So anyway, we do eat out. Another thing that I don't do that a lot of frugal people do is I don't use a whole bunch of apps that are intended to save you money, that you wind up generally spending more money using them. So they send you all of these emails and notifications that we have this going on and we have this going on. We have, if you shop at this store using our app, you can get all these extra points. We don't do it. Now, I don't even have that many apps on my phone. So that's another thing. I don't do that to save money. I just don't spend the money. So there's that. Another thing we don't do that's probably not very frugal is we don't reuse like Ziploc bags. I don't wash them out. I don't do any of that with Ziplocs. It's like $1 for, I don't know, 50 or 60 of them. And we would go through that about every 3 months. I'll spend the $1, but I'm not washing them out and putting them on the side of the sink, and I'm just not doing that. Another thing we don't do is we don't take like a month to figure out, to shop for a certain thing, checking all of the different prices everywhere and all that. I just don't. If we need something, I figure out what we need. I figure out how much it costs. I have a general idea already of how much it's going to cost, and I just purchase it. Boom. Another thing that would be considered not very frugal is we try to do all of our shopping, or as much of it as we can, locally, and with that, I have not been into a Walmart for probably 5 years. And I know a lot of people are thinking, how can you be frugal and not shop at Walmart? Pretty simple. I just don't go in the door for one thing and come out with $100 worth of other stuff that I didn't need. So that saves me not going to Walmart. Another thing is we don't use Amazon for that many things. We do for a handful of things. If we can't find it anywhere else, we'll go check on Amazon. But I hardly ever look at my Amazon app just because I don't want to be tempted to buy other stuff. So, and the other thing is Amazon is really expensive for several different things. Example is we buy these 6-pack of coconut waters. We buy them at Winco every week when we go grocery shopping, and I think they're about $16 or so for that 6-pack. When I looked on Amazon, at one point I was thinking about possibly doing an Amazon grocery order, and they're almost $30. They were $29. So I steer clear of Amazon. I know a lot of people think that that's the best thing since sliced bread, but it's not our thing. And the next one is we buy hanging baskets in the summer. Yes, they're flowers you have to continue buying because they don't come back every year. But we love them, and they're about $25 a piece, and I think generally I get 3 or 4 of them. And I'm perfectly happy with spending $100 one time a year to have 3 or 4 months worth of beautiful flowers. And that's not very frugal, but I love it, and it brings us so much joy. I absolutely love it. So I would like to know in the comments, like I said before, what are some of the things that you do or that you buy that people think, what? It's not frugal. Or you just think, yeah, it's not very frugal, but I like it. So I would love to know down in the comments. And please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, guys.